2025 is going to be a magical year for Disney parks, but not without some exciting changes. From brand new attractions to refurbishments and unexpected closures, your Disney vacation could look a little different than you remember. But don't worry, we've got the inside scoop on what's happening, when it's happening, and how you can make the most of your 2025 Disney trip. Stick around for all the details, and let's dive into the adventure together.
Hey Disney Adventures, DTLalaland here, and Happy New Year! I cannot believe that we have stepped into 2025. It feels like just yesterday we were soaking up all the magic in 2024, and yet here we are. After more than 30 years of planning unforgettable Disney vacations for family and friends, I can confidently say that a new year means only one thing. It's time to start dreaming about a new Disney adventure. So much has happened in Disney in 2024, and I'm excited to dive into what is coming in 2025. Ready to jump? Let's go. So first, let's start over at Magic Kingdom. So the very first thing that's happening is Big Thunder Mountain is closing on January 6th. It will remain closed for the entire year. One of the things that they have teased is that it actually is getting a revamp. I'm really hoping that they're going to pull in that explosion scene that they have over at the Big Thunder Mountain at Disneyland. But I think it's going to really give this ride a lot of new life, especially since it's going to get a lot of attention with those new lands coming in. So I'm excited to see Big Thunder Mountain getting a revamp. As we talked about, Cars Land, now that's scheduled to open in the summer of 2025. And you might be thinking, how can that be? I mean, they haven't drained the River of America. Tom Sawyer's Island is still there. The raft is still going. Well, believe it or not, they have been actually doing a lot of things behind the scenes. They have been filing permits. They've actually been knocking some buildings down and moving earth, as I think Josh DeMero has said. So that Cars area is already happening. And so I think in early 2025, we're going to start to see the draining of Rivers of America, the demolition of Tom Sawyer's Island. Just as a reminder, with the closure of Big Thunder Mountain, that is also going to close the Walt Disney World Railroad. Because that track goes through there, that whole Walt Disney World Railroad will actually be closed through most of 2025. But we're definitely going to see those construction walls come up. Reminder, we're going to see those construction walls come up from Haunted Mansion all the way through Liberty Square and then all the way down Frontierland over to Big Thunder Mountain. So that is really going to be kind of a ghost town in Frontierland. All you're really going to have over there is the Country Bear Musical Jamboree, and then Tiana's Bayou Adventure will be the only things in that area. So I really feel that area is going to be really quiet in 2025 until this Cars Land, which is scheduled to open up in the summer of 25. Cars Land is going to have two rides. One is going to be kind of like an off-road rally ride through the mountains for families, and then the other one is going to be a smaller, probably like a track ride for kids. I think this is really cool though, because if you look at any of the history way back of what Disneyland was, there was actually a kind of like Western mountain area that they used to actually ride donkeys and things like that over in Disneyland. So I think that's really great that they're kind of bringing back some of those Walt Disney plans back over here for Cars Land and Magic Kingdom. Now over in Adventureland, we're getting that new Pirates of the Caribbean lounge. It's an immersive lounge that's going to be available for families, which means kids are going to be able to come into this lounge as well. So they're going to have different foods and different drinks. So I think that's going to be really exciting to see what they have. Again, if it's going to be immersive, I know that there's been a lot of talk about the pirate, the Barker Bird coming back. I'm really excited about that Barker Bird over at Pirates of the Caribbean and their new lounge, and that is scheduled to open late of 2025. The other thing that I'm super excited about is the new night parade that's coming over to Magic Kingdom, and that's going to happen the summer of 2025, and that is called the Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away Parade. The concept art for these floats look amazing. I love that the Blue Fairy is coming back. The lighting on some of these floats just looks spectacular. I know that we lost the Spectro Magic Parade a couple years ago over to Disneyland, so I think this is a great opportunity for Disney to bring back a night parade right before the Happily Ever After show. So I'm really excited about this to come right down Main Street over at Magic Kingdom, and that's going to start the summer of 2025. Now with the new year, that also starts a lot of the annual refurbishments, And one of those refurbishments is the Astro Orbiter, which actually gets a whole revamp every like 10 years or so. And so Astro Orbiter will be closing on January 13th. They're actually going to be taking down that whole spinner thing, cleaning it all up, and then rebuilding it. And then it should open up in the summer of 2025. So over in Fantasyland, we've got It's a Small World that's going under their annual refurbishment. That's going to happen on January 21st, and then it will open back up on March 15th. I don't know what they're going to do with those creepy dolls. Those creepy dolls get way too much attention. Now with a new president that's coming into office, the Hall of Presidents will be closing, and that's going to be getting a refurbishment. It will be closing on January 10th. And based on what I have seen historically, when they bring in the new president and they have the new recordings and things like that, and reopening later in 2025 with the reprogramming for the new president. Let's jump over to Hollywood Studios. So we know that the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy closes doors in October of 2024, which was odd because it was finally getting some attention. But Disney has announced that the new Villains Unhappily Ever After show, which is going to open up in the summer of 2025, that is going to replace it. It's going to have all types of villains, which should really be cool. The start of the villains kind of coming into the parks. So I'm really excited to see the villains starting to move into the parks, and that show like opening in the summer of 2025. Another really great opening is the Little Mermaid show. So that is finally opening after closing in 2020 during COVID. They revamped the show, they updated the puppetry, they also added 2 new musical adventures, and so the Little Mermaid, a musical adventure, will open up in the summer of 2025. Now the big thing happening over at Hollywood Studios is, of course, the Muppets Become Monstropolis. So construction will begin in early of 2026. Muppets Vision 3D will probably close late 2025. Mama Melrose Restaurante and Pizza Rizzo will probably close late 2025. Definitely stay tuned because we have a lot of thoughts about what's going on here. I think I might even have a rumor that I want to discuss with you, but there'll definitely be a Muppets to Monsters video coming up in your very near future. So be sure you like and subscribe so that you don't miss that video coming up. Rock and Roller Coaster is going to close late in 2025 or maybe early 2026. And that's going to become the Muppets Mayhem. That should be really interesting. I'm wondering if it's going to be all Muppet music throughout the years or if they're going to have current rock and roll music. Okay, so let's jump over to Epcot. So after closing in July of 2024, Test Track is getting that futuristic revamp, and it's scheduled to open up sometime in 2025. We were just there in December. The walls are still up around Test Track. Everything I'm hearing is that that is probably going to open in the summer of 2025. So I'm really excited to see what this is going to be because they're saying trackless cars and a lot of new futuristic interactions. So that should be really interesting to finally have Test Track open in the summer of 2025. Now, let's talk about the Grand Fiesta Tour, starring the 3 Caballeros over in Mexico. Now, that's going to close for refurbishment on January 6th, and it's expected to open up on March 15th. So I think this is just going to be a revamp for the 3 Caballeros. I don't think it's going to have any type of change in the show. We've certainly not heard anything. That is expected to reopen on March 15th. Now, let's not forget over here in Epcot, I know they got a lot of attention in 2024, but the other thing that's coming here in Epcot is that Spaceship Earth Lounge. So that will offer a comfortable seating and drinks and snacks for people. It's actually located right behind Spaceship Earth. And so it looks out over the World Celebration Gardens, actually like where Walt is sitting. It's actually kind of like a little bit behind that, but it's right behind Spaceship Earth. It's this white building. So that's going to be a new lounge. Okay, so now let's jump over to Animal Kingdom. So we all know DinoLand USA at Animal Kingdom will be closing on January 13th. And that's going to make room for Tropical America that is scheduled to open in 2027. So right now, what they've talked about, that's going to definitely closing on January 13th. And so that's the Triceratops Spin, the Fossil Fun Games, and Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures. Those will all permanently close, and that will happen on January 13th. So definitely get over there. If you want to be able to take that last Triceratops spin before it closes, you got to get over there before January 13th. And what about everything else? What about Dinosaur, or the Boneyard, or the Restaurantosaurus, or Dinobite Snacks? All of that's going to remain through 2025. So you do have time to be able to get down there and ride Dinosaur before it closes in 2025. I think this construction is not going to have a lot of disruption in the park because they're going to be able to block off that area of DinoLand USA because it's right on the right back side. It's easy to close off with those Disney construction walls, and so that should really kind of not have any effect on Disney's Animal Kingdom. So we're over here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Let's talk about It's Tough to Be a Bug. That is scheduled to close on February 2nd to make room for a new 4D show, Zootopia Better Zoogether, which opens in the winter of 2025. Given that they need to change the entire theater, it's going to need reprogramming for any animatronics for that new show. It does look like the opening is probably going to coincide with the new Zootopia 2 movie release, which is going to happen November 26th of 2025. So you're probably going to see some of that kind of overlap. Okay, so Cali River Rapids. So that's going to be getting its annual closure and refurbishment. That's going to happen on January 6th, and it's expected to open up on March 2025. This is just an annual thing that happens when you have water rides. You need to kind of shut them down, drain them off, clean them out. And so this is just an annual maintenance upkeep that they do of Cali River Rapid every year. So again, that's closing on January 6th and going to open up again on probably in March of 2025.
With all these closings and construction walls?
Is it even worth going to Disney in 2025? Well, Disney's got some incredible promotions to entice you to come in 2025. So Disney's bringing back the dining plan, and it's been here for more of the deluxe resorts, but now they're bringing it back for all guests. If you are booking a trip for 2025, free dining is only for stays that arrive starting May 27th through June 26th and July 7th through August 6th. So what they're doing in order to get you to the park, they're offering you this free dining during the summer months. But be really specific when you look at these rules. The specific dates of when you need to book your vacation and when you need to arrive so that you can get that free dining. And also be sure that you notice it is a park hopper ticket. So if you just get the basic ticket, you don't get the free dining. In my opinion, the dining package is, especially a free dining package, is totally worth it. Because you have to pay for the park hopper ticket, which is a little bit more, but I think it's totally worth it considering that the prices of an average meal for an average family, breakfast starts at like, I think it's $40 per person, and then dinner for a table service, that can be anywhere between $60 to $80 per person for a dinner, for a table service. So I think getting a free Disney dining package during those time frames, I mean, you're going through, so that's kind of opening up through Memorial Day and then even through Father's Day, and when a lot of kids are getting out of school like mid-June, and then you have through the month of July into August. Those are key times of the summer where a lot of these things that we just talked about, the refurbishments and revamps, are going to be open in the summer of 2025. So I think this is a great opportunity to get the free dining and to go down in the summer of 2025. Number 2, Disney has also brought back the Disney After Hours experience. So this is a separate ticket event where guests can have 3 more hours after the park closes. Now, this is only available in Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and Magic Kingdom, but it also includes a snack, either like popcorn or ice cream, and bottled water. That's included in that cost of the ticket. And it's only available on select nights. So if this is something you're interested in, make sure that it's available on the time frame that you want to go. And make sure you really kind of look at your calendar and your schedule so you can make sure you book it on the right days. But this separate ticket for these Disney After Hours, this is not cheap. So again, we said a 3-hour after the park closes. One of the things I did see is that guests will be able to get into the parks at around 7 o'clock. So if you figure the park closes at say 9, 3 more hours will get 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock thereabouts. So from 7 to 1, you'll be able to be in the parks. Who doesn't want to be at the parks after hours? I think this is a really great deal. I just really hate the price. It's like any other separated ticket price that's like a party ticket. It's about $155 to $185 plus tax per person. So it's definitely something you need to look at your budget to see if it's something that you really want to do. But I do think that it is a great opportunity for some of these reduced lines and reduced crowds to be in the parks after hours for this price. So what I would say is you could do something like maybe you spend the morning over at Animal Kingdom. That closes like 6, 7 o'clock. You jump over here, maybe you take the Skyliner and you go over to Hollywood Studios or Epcot, and then you get to go into those parks, and then you get to stay there until like 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, that's pretty cool. So that might be a way to kind of balance it out to see if it's kind of worth your money. Okay, so option number 3. Disney is also offering a stay and play in 2025. So what does that mean? Well, guests checking into Disney Resort Collection hotels are going to be given admission into a water park on the very first day of arrival. So if you come in on a Sunday, you can actually go over to Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach for that very first day for free. So that's kind of like I think it's like $125 cost that you're getting for free. But it can only be used on that first day. I'm really curious to hear about everybody's thoughts on these refurbishments and revamps. Do you think these closures are going to impact your Disney vacation plans? Are you still scheduled to go in 2025? Are you going to make any changes? Let us know down in the comments. So Disney's come out with a whole new line for 2025, and that is going to be our next jump to the next video. I can't wait to show you all the new stuff that's come out. Of course, they've got lounge flies and Mickey ears, but they've got a couple of new little treats that are coming out, especially for you pin traders out there. I cannot wait for you to see all the new stuff. With so much going on in 2025, you don't want to miss out. So tap your bubble wand on that subscribe button. I'm DTLalaland. Join the magic, live the adventure, and we'll see you at the Disney parks. It's snowing. Oh my gosh, it's snowing.
It's just squalls.
I know, but it's snow.